The following broadcast is a copyrighted presentation of the DHN Media Group. Any non-personal retransmission of this broadcast without the express written consent of the DHN Media Group is hereby prohibited. On the heels of a 4-2 win last night over Syracuse, the Delaware D1 Blue Hens will look to make it a weekend sweep here at Fred Rust Arena, and we're coming at you live on a Saturday edition of Delaware Hockey Night. Hi, everybody, and a most pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Welcome into Delaware Hockey Night on this Saturday, November 2nd, 2019, and we are live at Fred Rust Arena for the second half of this weekend series between the 1-5-1 Syracuse University Orange and the 7-6 Delaware Blue Hens men's Division I team. James Witherite, happy to be joining you once again from atop the stands here at Fred Rust, and a little bit later on I'll be joined by color commentator and analyst and hockey expert and all-around good guy Bob Thomas. He's back in the broadcast box tonight. Of course, last night he was not with us. He was out on assignment as assistant coach of Salesianum High School hockey. Unfortunately for the Sallies, they were handed a defeat by Unionville in their season opener. And for those Sallies fans out there, a reminder that Salesianum hockey will be featured quite prominently through the course of this year on Delaware Hockey Night as well. Visit dehockeynight.com for the full schedule. So Delaware showed great tenacity in the final 30 minutes of last night's game. They gave up the opening goal of the contest just 66 seconds in from a Matt Jacobs laser at the left point, deflected in by Chris Brunner-Grande right on the doorstep. But from there it was Delaware the rest of the way. Skip Redgate with a goal. Chris Mazzella with a goal. Jake DeFerris with a power play tally from right in front of the blue paint. And the empty netter from Brian Ostrander with 43 seconds to go sealed the 4-2 victory for Delaware over their Eastern States Collegiate Hockey League rivals down from Central New York for the weekend. Of note tonight, Chris Mazzella is a healthy scratch. So we'll see Ryan Luppy moving up to the top line along with Mike Niski and Jake Nema. Between the pipes once again, it will be Chris Ponticello, who last night stopped 28 of 30 shots that he faced. On the Syracuse side, a pair of first goals for them this season. Brunner-Grande, of course, with his first goal of the year, and Pat Major as well with his first of the season. If you're joining us tonight and weren't along for the ride yesterday, a note that Lucas Prestamo is the leading goal scorer for the Orange with 4 tallies this season. Better watch out, though, for Ford Hatchett from the left point. Talked to him a little bit before the game. Strong two-way defenseman. He leads the team in assists with 7. And despite dropping to 1-5-1 last night in net, Eric Parker put on quite the display, stopping 37 of the 40 shots that he faced in defeat. He was forced to move east-west, especially on the Delaware power play, but he tracked the puck well and made it awfully hard for Delaware to convert. The Hens will look to keep their momentum going. We've got about 5 minutes before we join public address announcer Bill Williams for the opening introductions here at Fred Rust Arena. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, it'll be part 2 of Delaware Syracuse, and it's all coming up on Delaware Hockey Night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into Fred Rust Arena. It's time for some Saturday night hockey in the first state. The Delaware Blue Hens looking to complete a weekend sweep over the Syracuse Orange. James Witherite and Bob Thomas here with you at Fred Rust Arena. Hi, Bob.
Hey, James. How you doing?
Great to have you back in the box.
It's good to be back. Missed the fun that we have up here in our little bird's nest.
It doesn't get much better, does it, Bob?
No. Great hockey, great fun. More people need to come out and see these guys play. It's great hockey.
It doesn't get much better, that's for sure. Just $6 to get here, too. So
yep.
Really great hockey, fast, free-flowing, pretty hockey, and a fun, family-friendly environment. And we're glad to be able to bring it to you from wherever you may be joining us here across North America this evening. via Delaware Hockey Night TV and Delaware Hockey Night Radio. Without further ado, let's listen in. We'll go to public address announcer Bill Williams for the opening introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the University of Delaware Division I women's hockey. Welcome to the Fairfax Arena on the campus of the University of Delaware, where this afternoon the Syracuse University Guardsmen take on your University of Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. First, let's introduce the starting lineup for Syracuse. Starting at left defense, number 6, Ford Hatchet. Starting at right defense, number 2, Ryan Dowd. Starting at left wing, number 17, Peter Owen Hayward. Starting at center, number 12, Lucas Pastrano. Starting at right wing, number 26, Dylan Wheeler. Number 30, Aaron Parker. Syracuse is led by head coach Connor Tracy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over your fees. I introduce the starting lineup for University of Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. Starting at left defense junior from Richmond, Connecticut, number 6, Harrison Drew. Starting at right defense, a junior from Randolph, New Jersey, number 7, Jack Zimmer. Starting at left wing, a senior from Bloomington, Delaware, number 12, Colin Hamwick. Starting at center, a senior from Middletown, New Jersey, number 16, Kevin Felice. Starting at right wing, a senior from Suffolk, New York, number 21, Michael Redgate. And starting over as a senior from Center Rochester, New York, number 1, Chris Marcello. Delaware is led by head coach John Littlewell. The assistant coaches are Ben Schroeder and Jason Bange. The referees for the series for the Syracuse game, Owen Doe and John Poland. The lines were Bob Payne and Brent Kendall. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and men remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem. To this afternoon, the anthem will be sung by our play-by-play announcer, James Whitwright.
And without further ado, it's time for some hockey, Bob.
Drop the puck.
And as Bill Williams so often says, it's time to unleash the beast. Delaware traveling from left to right in this opening period. Decked out in their home whites will be backstopped by Chris Ponticello. He's 6-5 on the year with a .338 goals against average coming into the weekend and a save percentage of .912. Here we go. Play has begun in Delaware, and the Hens win the opening faceoff. Felice plays the puck up the near side from his own blue line into the near corner of the Syracuse end. Peter Owen Hayward is able to work it out of the orange zone. Cross-ice pass into neutral territory, bounces off the stick of right winger Dylan Wheeler, there we go. Around to the near side of the Delaware end, where it's handled by Harrison Chuma, played off his backhand in behind his own goal, and now up the middle to Felice from Redgate. Kevin Felice seeks to get past the defender, lost his shot lane, and Ford Hatchett was the one putting the pressure on the Delaware alternate captain. And here come the Orange right back the other way. Lucas Prestamo, number 12, in those away navy blue kits. Came up the near boards, got the center red, stopped there, lofted the puck in. Line changes for both sides. Here, 55 seconds in to this first of 3 20-minute periods. Harrison Good on the back check, recovers the puck. It's taken away from him by Colin Morrow, thrown in close once, twice. Ponticello denied them both. Jakey DeFerris works the puck through neutral ice across to Mike Niski, stopping at the right dot. He tried to line up a shot. It was blocked by Mackenzie Murphy just as soon as he got rid of it. And the Orange back on the offensive, led by Matt Jacobs up the left wing boards. From the Delaware blue line, he dumps it into the near corner. Reaching in, Good tries to take it away. It's a 2-on-2 battle for the puck. Observed by Johnny Poling. He and Owen Doan wearing the bands tonight. The linesmen are Bob Payne and the Nova Scotian Brett Kendall joining us here this evening in place of Mike Zalot, who was originally scheduled. So it's a Baltimore-based crew handling the officiating duties, and a stretch pass to Connor Preston. Up the left swing boards from deep in the Syracuse zone, but he stood up just upon gaining the Delaware blue line. Ethan Docking brings play back the other direction. He's working on with Burns and Pierkowski as part of the third line for the Delaware Blue Hens, who muscle their way into attacking territory. Ryan Burns holds down the right point, plays the puck into the near corner where it's trapped, extracted by Ford Hatchett. Strong two-way defenseman for Syracuse, as mentioned during the pregame, leads the team in assists with 7 so far this season. Outlet pass broken up by Burns. It was headed to Austin Ricker up the near side, supported by Preston. Back it comes into Syracuse territory, where Hatchett works it out up the right side to Zach Gordon. He comes off for some fresh legs, the top line right back on for the men in blue as we near the 3-minute mark of this first period. Burns shot from between the circles, rebound chance on the doorstep. Docking couldn't put it past. In fact, he found the wrong side of the cage after missing the left post by about 6 inches. Rebound was contested in the far corner of the Syracuse end. Devin Jenny turns the Jets on, but Prestamo's able to carry the biscuit out of the Syracuse end through neutral territory. He was pickpocketed by Jenny. Cross ice pass to Gavin Hulser. Hard shot from the right dot. Waffle boarded away smartly by Eric Parker, but right into the slot. Delaware couldn't keep their momentum going from there, and they're forced back just in front of their own blue line to get things going. But Jack Zimmer, in trying to ricochet the puck through neutral ice, was countered, and Syracuse on the attack got a couple shots off. But Ponticello had the last word on the doorstep as Lucas Prestamo tried to jam in a rebound.
And action, James. I didn't think you were going to be able to get a breath the way they were going back and forth there. We had almost 4 minutes of just nonstop hockey. Both teams were playing, a couple breakdowns in front gave both teams scoring chances. So
and here's Brian Ostrander the other way. Took a long shot after carrying the puck from deep in the Delaware zone to the top of the right circle of his attacking zone. Stick save from Parker. turn the momentum back the other way. Odd man rush for Syracuse. It was a 3-on-2, but a cross-slot pass from Barone sailed past Jacobs into the far corner. Back it comes near side. Chuma plays the body on Barone. Puck is trapped. Hulser pitchforking away, unable to extract it from the reach of Syracuse's Matt Jacobs. It's kicked back to the left point, thrown in by Murphy. Poling ducked, puck bounced off the backboards. It's tied up directly behind Ponticello now. Another 2-on-2 scrum. Hulser is able to bat it free, but Tommy Flynn chases it down just a half step quicker to the near corner. Centered, nobody home. Recovered by Jack Zimmer for Delaware. And 4.5 minutes into the contest, the big guns come out for the Hens, but their advances stood up at the Syracuse blue line. A dump and chase the other way from Matt Jacobs. Headman to Connor Preston. His shot from the left point turned aside by Ponticello, and both sides have relatively fresh legs on as we near the 5-minute mark here in the first period of a scoreless match between Delaware and Syracuse. Ponticello steadies the puck behind his own goal. He leaves it there for Jake DeFerris, but he's under two-ply forechecking pressure. He's got to regroup after he failed on the breakout pass. He tried to work it ahead to Skip Redgate, working just over the Delaware blue line, but that pass was intercepted by the 6'4", 215 blue liner Ford Hatchett for Syracuse. Here's Delaware on the offensive now. Redgate flips the puck in to Colin Emmerich, who came crashing in, and we've got our first penalty of the game, courtesy Owen Doan, signaling a trip 5 minutes and 20 seconds in. And the guilty party is Syracuse's Ford Hatchett. So their size and versatility at the blue line will be gone for the next 120 seconds. And the Blue Hens get themselves a power play opportunity, and a prime opportunity as well to draw first blood.
James, you know, I always say bring the kids down so they can learn good fundamental hockey. What got them into trouble with Syracuse is head down on the puck and swing checks. Got to play the body, guys.
Here's Mike Niski, center point. Works it across to Felice. Thrown in net front. Scrum develops, holding down the fort. Mackenzie Murphy was able to bat the puck away. Emmerich got it back, rang one off the post from right on the welcome mat. DeFerris up to Niski. He's challenged center point. Matt Jacobs takes the puck away from him. Niski angles him to the far corner. Good back check from the Delaware captain. And here comes their second wave. Felice across to the left and Jack Zimmer. He tried to drop it back to Docking. Got a little bit cute on that one, Bob. And Matt Jacobs was able to take it away for an easy clear.
That's about the fourth or fifth time they've tried to force or as you say, you know, got cute. But that was about the fourth time that they've done that where they've tried to force a pass. And if it's not there, don't try to take it.
Good hockey is pretty, but it's not cute.
Right. It's smart. Right,
Poke
right
checked
there.
away from Chuma again at the right point as Peter Owen Hayward sticks right on him and forces him all the way back behind his own goal. So Chuma's got to turn on the Jets to get past a pair of Syracuse players. Now he turns it into a 3-on-2. Drop pass to Ferris, thrown through the slot. Docking's redirect at the bottom of the right circle failed to materialize. And a hand pass is ruled against Delaware with 13 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the first period of play. So the ensuing face-off comes outside the Syracuse blue line. 29 seconds left on the Ford Hatchett tripping minor. But Delaware's not really been able to do a whole heck of a lot on the power play thus far. Ostrander recovers the puck at the near boards under duress. And the Hens will set up much more deliberately now. Stretch pass to Docking. Back from Jenny at Delaware's own blue line. Is able to gain the Hens the attacking zone. Back to Jenny. It comes at the right point across the blue line to Chuma. Jenny. Cross-ice pass. Ostrander. In close to Skip Redgate. Nobody home on the centering pass as Docking was out of position to field it. And the Syracuse penalty kill was successful in their first go-around. 7.5 minutes elapsed here in period number 1. Blue Hens 0, Orange 0. I keep wanting to say Orange men, Bob, but it's like in All of Us Command. It's just hard to get used to, admittedly.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing, though. Thanks for doing it first.
You know how many times in the tunnel at Bridgeport I've had to say to myself, in all of us command, in all of us command, in all of us command, to make sure I don't sing Thy Sons. Old habits die hard, don't they, Bob?
Really hard.
Play back in the Delaware zone. Cascone works the puck behind his own goal to loose far side. Now advanced up the middle to Jake Nima. Head man to Niski as Nima takes an open ice hit right over the Blue Hand logo. Niski back to Luppy at the left point. Worked in now to the far corner. Jake Nima looking for space. Ricochets it off the backboards to Niski. Backdoor pass didn't materialize. Luppy couldn't get in position. He was surrounded from all angles by navy blue sweaters. And Pat Major's able to clear the zone. Ahead to Ricker in a one-on-one. Now the Delaware back check catches up with him. And Ricker is angled to the near half wall. He takes a tumble. Puck is cleared out as far as the Syracuse blue line, where Ford Hatchett will get the momentum going from right to left once again. We're nearing the 9-minute mark of this first period. Puck gloved down by Hatchett after Cascone lofted it across neutral ice. Hard shot from the right dot, and Matt Jacobs rings off the glass from the cross ice feed by Hatchett. Tie up for the puck in front of the Delaware bench. The result of the rebound of that shot. Back it comes to the left point, thrown in by a Hatchet, turned aside by Ponticello to the far wall. Luppy tries to shovel it out, can't do so. It's hacked down at the right point by Jacobs, but pressed out of his reach by Jake Nima. Easy line change for Delaware. Syracuse pounces. They set up what was nearly a 4-on-1, but a bad pass to the near corner. And Vinny Barone gave Delaware time to get back in position, and that opportunity for the Orange disintegrated right before our very eyes.
They had a couple good chances there, though, because, again, the big guy,
Hatchett.
carried it down and just sort of, like, created a wave.
You know, he's 6'4". He uses that size to his advantage, and he's able to play all 200 feet of the ice, which is, you see a big lumbery guy like that, and, you know, you expect him to just play the body, but no, he's very skilled.
He is. He really is. The only thing I've seen with him that might be a spot that Delaware can take advantage of, with Delaware speed, he has a little bit tough time making that transition from back to forward skating to pin a guy into the boards. They can get out off him and get him, you know, turn him at 3 o'clock. They got him beat. So we'll see if that happens during this game here, James.
One-timer after Syracuse won the attacking zone draw. Kai Miller from center point missed his line by about a foot to the left. Orange maintaining control of the puck, or are they? Connor Preston was challenged for it by Good directly below the Delaware goal. Good with it again now. Plays it up the right side to Wagner, and he'll carry it on into neutral territory up the near wall. Slammed back the other way by Murphy. Corralled by Preston. He absorbs a Pierkowski check at center red. Puck ends up deep into the Syracuse zone. Parker wants the icing, and he gets it. 9:32 to go here in the opening period of play at Fred Rust Arena. And I think that was only icing by maybe a foot, Bob. It was
close.
It was really close.
It's like right now, neither team has really established like any steady momentum, James. It's going one way, then it's going the other way. Looked like Delaware had it for a while, and especially when the power play came, and then all of a sudden it just kind of fizzled, and now Syracuse has got Delaware.
But you've got to admit the Syracuse penalty kill did force Delaware to attack that power play in 3 very distinct waves. They were able to take advantage of those lapses in momentum and send Delaware back to their own end.
You know, and that's what happens a lot of times when you see guys forcing it on the power play or doing too much.
Trying to be cute.
Let the puck do the work. Let the puck do the work. Take what's there and don't force it. Because the last thing you want to do is lose the puck like Delaware did several times at the blue line.
If you can't protect the zone and you've got 5 guys in the zone, you're going to give up odd man rushes all day, even when you're up 5-on-4.
It was pretty close. Several
Scrum
times.
net front, Ponticello covers up the puck. As Prestamo was looming in close, and so too was Wheeler. First line gets a break for the Orange. Second line comes on, the Matt Jacobs line. Jacobs flanked by Barone and Flynn. Felice chases down the puck to the near corner of the Syracuse end. It's cleared out by Barone, kept in by Zimmer at the near point. Worked in behind to Skip Redgate, taken away from him by Flynn, worked free to Barone. Headman up the middle to Matt Jacobs. He's able to work his way into the Delaware zone, but play his angle to the far boards. Now Jacobs is able to find a shot lane. He steps up to the right dot. Couldn't connect from there. Rebound opportunity from Murphy is considerably wide as well. A third shot came from the top of the right circle. Murphy's defensive partner, Kai Miller, threw the puck into a congested Delaware slot, and Chuma presses play 200 feet the other direction, but the Hens cannot maintain their momentum. Here's a 3-on-3 for Syracuse. Up the middle comes Jacobs. He's angled to the right half wall by Redgate, plays the carom shot in behind the cage. On his horse, Cascone pokes the puck away from the reach of Connor Preston at the near side, and the Hens are back out into neutral territory with 8 minutes to go in a back and forth first period that's not seen either team be able to develop any momentum, and has also seen neither team tickle the twine. Here's Hulser up the middle, 2-on-1 to Ostrander, right dot, hard shot blocked down by Parker. He tracked that puck perfectly. Hulser and Ostrander had Parker moving from east to west on that one, but the Syracuse netminder responded in kind.
Ostrander's having a really good shift. I like what he does. When he's forechecking, he doesn't give time and space or think about the forecheck. He goes and gets the guy.
And here he comes into the zone up the right side. Ostrander beats a defender. Save made by Parker. Follow-up chance. Jenny on the doorstep. Had lots of open net to work with, but couldn't get a good angle on the puck from right on the welcome mat. Good. Chips it deeper into the Syracuse end from the right point, but it's taken on by Matt Jacobs from there. Cross-ice pass out of the orange zone ahead to Brunner Grande. Long-range shot came from the right point. Reaching up, Chris Ponticello makes the glove save, and he hangs on for the stoppage. With 6 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first period of action, and no score in the first state.
If you're watching at home and you're a young forward, watch that shift that Ostrander just had. That's textbook. Hard work, moving his feet constantly, not slowing down, playing both ends of the ice.
He's absolutely a skill player, but my, is he a grinder.
Yes, and I loved what he did. As he needed to get off the ice, but he waited until they got the puck in deep, and then he came. He didn't change on the southbound. He changed on the northbound, and that's what you want smart players to do.
Jake Nema up the middle. Works the puck ahead. Daniski, first goal of the game goes to the Delaware Blue Hens. It looked like Nema on the rebound put it past Parker, and it's 1-0 Delaware.
James, I think that was Mr. Wagner that scored.
Was that Wags?
I think so. I believe it was.
Wagner was there. Nema was there. It was rush hour traffic right in front.
Parker just could not control the rebound. It wasn't a hard shot to control. He just couldn't find it, and it was pretty much right at his glove down on the ice. And that was a great. That's why you go to the net. Go to the net. And he did just that, and he got rewarded with a nice goal and get Delaware started. So way to go, Mr. Wagner.
And what were we talking about before? Hard work.
And there he goes again.
Here's Wagner again. Outside the right circle. Gets a shove behind the cage from Ford. Hatchett loses the puck. Hatchett not afraid to play the body generally. He knows where the line is. He was effective there. Niski to good from up high. Puck punched clear by Parker. How's that for alliteration, Bob?
Say that 10 times quick, James.
I don't want to try. Good. Taniski again, below the goal. Bill Williams will chime in with the goal information as soon as he's got it all taken care of. Niski flips the puck back to Good at the right point. Thrown in behind the cage, swatted the other way by Hatchett. Steadied at the near half wall by Connor Preston for Syracuse, and he lofts it back as far as center red, setting up a Syracuse 2-on-2. Here's Bill.
The assistant number 22, Michael Liskey, number 25, Jake Nema. Time to goal, 14:42. That's 18 Wagner in the goal. Liskey making all the assists at 13:42.
This is why we keep you around, Bob. You watch the game so well. You were able to identify that was indeed Wagner's stick that put the puck past Parker. There's the alliteration again.
There it is.
Nima was right there with him too, and you got to be happy for Ryan Wagner. Good kid, first ACHA goal.
Oh, that's great.
Here in a Delaware sweater. And the Hens are keeping it coming.
They're taking advantage of that speed.
Pierkowski from the left dot let a shot go. Jacobs lost his footing on his way out of the zone. Battle for the puck in neutral territory right in front of PA announcer Bill Williams. And Pierkowski shovels it back to Zimmer, and now on to Chuma right side, who walks it into the top of the right circle. Let a shot go. It bounced off the pads of Eric Parker and was iced subsequently by the Orange with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this fast and frenetic first period.
You know, James, it took about maybe 13 minutes for Delaware to find that speed that they needed, and it's evident now the tide has turned, and that's what they need to do with Syracuse is skate hard and fast, because I don't think Syracuse can keep up with that speed.
They just gave up a defensive zone face-off victory to Syracuse from Syracuse's perspective, and Peter Owen Hayward was able to carry the puck the length of the ice. Center to Lucas Prestamo, high slot taken away from him by Emmerich, 2-on-2 the other way, but Emmerich's angled wide of the right dots, lost the puck, sweeping in to gather it in for Delaware. Skip Redgate plays it back to Cascone at the right point. Thrown in behind, puck caroms to the far corner. It's chased down by Prestamo, and he's got time and space up the right dots to work back through neutral territory, but he's kept wide by Emmerich on his way into the Delaware zone, and he lost any possibility of a shot lane. Puck was tied up in the far corner, recovered by Kevin Felice. Chipped out from the middle ahead to Redgate, and he carries it back on through neutral ice up the right side. Centering pass, reaching for the puck. Devin Jenny was taken off the play by Hayward. Centering pass, one-timer, good from 30 feet away. That shot popped up into the atmosphere, and Peter Owen Hayward gets past center, shovels it off his backhand along the near side into the Delaware zone. That gives Syracuse opportunity to make a change. With 3 minutes to go in the first period, the score Delaware 1, Syracuse Orange 0. Here's Good up the right side on the re-entry for Delaware. Long-range shot off the glass, bounces to the far corner, controlled there by Devin Jenny. On to Ostrander through the slot. Hulser wasn't in position for the redirect. Good threw it in from the right point. Chance blocked by Preston. Race for the puck the other way. Good wants a penalty. He's not going to get one. That looked as 50-50 to me as the day is long, Bob Thomas.
I don't know what Mr. Good was doing. He was over in basically the corner. When he got up, he held his hand up.
You can't defend with your arm up, Harrison.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make the call. The problem is he's got a
The
hockey
problem
jersey
is
on.
Owen makes the call, not Harrison.
Right. And so it's one of those plays because luckily for him, the Orange picked up the puck and put it on net, and luckily the one shot because he left his defensive partner alone. So,
and Chris Ponticello's really dialed in today.
He is. Luckily,
he hasn't had to do a whole heck of a lot, but he's dialed in.
Especially his last 7 or 8 minutes. Delaware's played really strong, but I'd like to see the points get the shots through a little more. Even if it doesn't get on net.
Chuma's shot was blocked right off the leg of Preston.
They had
5 feet after he got rid of it.
Sometimes it's better to take the corner than to try to throw it to the net, and then you're chasing the guy up the ice.
You can always work it in deep and then set up the centering pass from there. Like you always say, move the puck in up the boards, and then, once you're down low, work it in close.
Well, James, I like to watch a lot of NCAA games.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Niski brought it back in up the right side. We'll rejoin the NCAA games after these 100 seconds, if that's all right by you, Bob.
Absolutely. That's what
Another
I stopped.
dump and chase from the Orange. Puck punched in by Chris Brunner Grande, who earned his first goal of the season last night. And Delaware's forced to regroup in their own end with 80 seconds to go here in the first period of play. Winding up from his own zone, Zimmer fires the puck into Syracuse territory. It's chipped in by the stick of Ryan Luppy, but carried back the other direction. 2-on-2. Prestamo with a hard shot at the top of the right circle. Skitters wide of the Delaware cage. Kept in Syracuse control. Prestamo now at the left circle, top thereof. Shot from 35 feet. Stick checked up into the air by Jake Nima. And that one's into the protective netting with 53 seconds to go in this first period. And just a little break in the action to come as Delaware is faced with a defensive zone draw, the one to take it, Ethan Docking, across from Syracuse's Pat Major. Puck played across ice by Preston to the far side. It's handled by Hatchett, thrown in close, covered up by Ponicello. And another stop in the action as bodies crowd round the Delaware net, and a few extracurriculars kept in check by the linesmen Bob Payne and Brent Kendall. So 42 seconds to go in the first period, and Syracuse is creating some tense moments here for Delaware in the closing seconds of this first frame, Bob.
Well, you know, James, when you're a defensive player and you pick up the puck in the high slot, the one place you don't want to throw it is up the middle, because usually the center defenseman's right there.
Yeah.
If you take and throw it just on a slight angle right or left of that, you pretty much have open ice to clear it. And that's what got Delaware in a bit of trouble right there.
You know, earlier today, Bob, I was refereeing a Mike game, and you see in the first period, the kids give the puck up in the middle, and then in the second and third periods, they start to work it out to the boards from their own zone. So
exactly, that's what I was alluding to with the about watching the ACHA and NCAA games. There is, you know, when I've done like just little stat things, most of the carry-ins at that level, about 75 to 80 or above, when a skater's carrying it in, they're carrying it outside the dots. You know, so I tell my, high school guys, if it's good enough for the college teams, it's good enough for us.
And when you're working out of your own zone, you certainly want to carry it outside the dots so you're not giving up the shot lane should a turnover take place.
Well, yeah, you know, if you get outside the dots with the carry-in, it gives you a little bit more room, and then that allows you to either drop pass to a teammate on the boards or a guy breaking through the middle for you. And you're isolating one defenseman, as sometimes you come in and now. Sometimes the defensemen are backed off, so it's good. But if it's not backed off, then you take it wide. That way you're going one-on-one as opposed to one-on-two. And you've seen some of those
you
big
create
hits.
Not necessarily an odd man rush in the small space, but you're at least creating an even play where otherwise you wouldn't have one.
You always want to isolate one man in the offensive zone or anywhere on the ice, because you want mini power plays. You don't want, 5-on-5 is what we always think about, but it really can be, again.
Like we identify going into the zone, those 2-on-1s, 2-on-2s,
right.
And then you get a mini 2-on-1 over in the corner.
Like I said, I think we were talking about it before. That guy, what is it again?
Gretzky. He played for Edmonton, right?
Yeah, something. He wasn't real good, but he got a few points in his career. But he understood that. He used the net to help isolate one guy somewhere. It's sort of like, okay, I got it. We isolate this one guy and create a 2-on-1 down low. I mean, 2-on-1s can happen anywhere.
And it's developing those and taking advantage of them that just can go so far in creating those A-quality scoring chances. To sum up the closing seconds of that first period, there was a battle for the puck in front of the Syracuse bench, and time ticked away as the puck was trapped in that. It became a 3-on-3 scrum. Burns was able to extract the puck at the left point, couldn't do anything with it ultimately before the horn sounded to signal the end of the first period. A back-and-forth first period, didn't waste a whole lot of ink. One penalty, Syracuse's Ford Hatchett, guilty of a trip at 5:20, and then a lot of back and forth between then and the lone Delaware goal, which came from Ryan Wagner. Batting the puck past Eric Parker off the rebound of a Mike Niski shot at 13:42 for Wagner. His first goal as a Blue Hen. Congratulations, Ryan. 20 minutes into the books. And the Delaware Blue Hens lead the Syracuse Orange 1-0. We'll take a break here on Delaware Hockey Night. When we come back, action resumes from Fred Rust Arena. Welcome back into Fred Rust Arena. 20 minutes in the books. And the Delaware Blue Hens, off Ryan Wagner's first goal for the Delaware side, has a 1-0 lead over the Syracuse Orange. James Witherite and Bob Thomas joining you here on this Saturday afternoon turn evening from Fred Rust Arena. And in that first period, Hens were able to set up some decent scoring chances, but they're giving up the points a little bit too readily, and they're not generating those A-quality chances to get Eric Parker moving as much as they need to get him moving to be able to get themselves enough open net.
Well, James, you know, a killer combination is speed and great passing. If you've got speed, that's great, but I'd rather take a little bit less speed and great passing. And in this case with Delaware, a couple of those times, if they got the passes through, you got guys wide open. So I'd like to see them hitting a few more of those passes.
And Syracuse wins the initial draw. Long change in the second period. The Orange moving from left to right to get things going. Shot right on the doorstep from Matt Jacobs off the stick of Ponticello. That puck is chipped into the air and cleared out now up the right wing boards by Gavin Hulser. This will be an icing against the Blue Hens. Just 22 seconds in to this second period. And not the start of the second period you want if you're Delaware, especially when you've got a 1-0 lead, but it's kind of tenuous.
James, multiple times in that first period, Delaware got a little bit loose in front of their own goaltender. And just right there, the guy came out from just the side of the net and basically
Jacobs
got an
wins the
unchallenged
draw over
shot.
Hulser. Jacobs wins the draw over Hulser at the far dot. Generated probably a B-level chance, which was blocked down by the stay-at-home defenseman Harrison Good working alongside Jakey DeFerris back at the blue line. And The Hens were able to migrate into attacking position, but Syracuse just as quickly responding on the back check to Ferris at the left point. Works the puck to Jenny, back to DeFerris across the blue line over to Good. Now cycle to the far corner, and Niski. Hulser behind the cage. Niski, open center point. Back to DeFerris, working the right corner. Thrown in by Good from long range. Off the stick of Jenny, that puck is directed to the near corner of the Syracuse zone, corralled by Mike Niski. Niski's got great speed, but it's hard to lend puck support when he's moving that rapidly, and that's gotten the Hens in trouble a couple times. Niski on the re-entry, now left side. Back to DeFerris at the near point. Niski half wall. DeFerris drifting over center point. Works the puck to the far side where Good dumps it in deep. The Karams off the backboards all the way back into Delaware territory. Stretch pass from DeFerris, bounced off Niski's stick at center. Nearly taken the other way, but muscled back into the Syracuse zone by Nima. He plays the Karam shot around behind to the right point. Held down momentarily by Harrison Good. Taken away from him by Preston. Good back to the scorer's table. Couldn't get the momentum going the other direction, but Jake Nima is able to. Here's Nima setting up a 2-on-2 with Niski splitting defenders on his way, and drop pass after his momentum carried him behind the cage to Nima on the doorstep. Fanned on essentially, and Nima had to cross over to the near wall to keep the momentum going. But the Hens give up a 3-on-2 to the Syracuse Orange. Puck brought in by Connor Preston, centered, nobody home. Preston with it again. Shot from the inside edge of the right circle was blocked on its way through. Chuma plays the body. Left point protected by Murphy. Murphy holds the zone, dropping to a knee to do so. Chuma gets a stick on the puck from center point. Moves it over to the near half wall and fires it the length of the ice. A little help before from Mike Niski. Was able to get it deep in Syracuse territory without the danger of an icing. Countering was Matt Jacobs for the Syracuse Orange. He let a cannon go from 25 feet at a 45-degree angle from the right side, and Ponticello makes the stop with 2 minutes and 57 seconds elapsed in this second period.
Delaware got lucky there, James. Niski's line got caught out there way too long, and that created a few scoring opportunities, or at least move the puck around freely in the zone because their line was tired. Then they got changed on the they tried to get out, and they had a fairly difficult change and got a little bit lucky.
Good puck movement from Syracuse after the attacking zone face-off win, but it was bobbled by Colin Morrow. Advanced by the Hens up the middle from there, but they'll be called back offside with 3:15 elapsed in the second period. It's those little details in the timing that have really gotten Delaware in some trouble spots, and Ponticello and just plain luck on some occasions have been the saving grace.
Well, you got to be really aware of that long change, so you don't want to get caught out there, on a long shift, because then it gets really difficult to change.
I mean, second period really favors the team in the attacking zone just by virtue of that. And Skip Redgate is able to loft the puck deep into the Syracuse end. It caromed around to the right half wall, bobbled by Felice. Cascone had to hustle to the right point to protect the zone, and he did. But he gave up the puck, and Jacobs was able to clear it out, carried on by Brunner Grande over center. He keeps the dump and chase alive, giving the rest of the Orange time to change up. Hayward under heavy pressure just inside the Delaware blue line. Threw the puck into Prestamo, who was fresh on, but he couldn't connect from 10 feet away from Ponticello. 2-on-2 the other way. Redgate gets past center along the far boards, or does he? Lofts the puck in behind the Syracuse goal. And this is going to come back an icing. I don't know.
Well, I was kind of focused in on, again, Delaware not using the good passing ideas. Like Lucy on that one, he just skated around. He actually cut right down the middle, and they picked his pocket. So they're making it a little bit easy on Syracuse. Delaware is definitely the faster of the two teams.
So trying for a line change, and they're going to be able to get one here. Trying for the line change on the flip up the right boards. Delaware instead gets pinned deeper in their zone off the icing. Now Redgate and company are able to come off and the docking line. Burns and Pierkowski with him are back on for the Hens. Prestamo, center of this top Syracuse line, bats the puck forward from the left dot. Hens are able to break free on the 1-on-3 mismatch. Here's Pierkowski from the left half wall, shot from there through traffic, turned aside by the paddle of Parker to the far corner. Recovered by Mackenzie Murphy for the Orange. He plays the carom shot behind his own goal to Peter Owen Hayward. Back to Murphy it goes, circling up the left. He clears his zone, cross ice pass through traffic, evades Dylan Wheeler. He absorbs a punishing hit from Pierkowski at the near boards just inside the Delaware blue line. It's recovered by Hayward. He drops back to his own stripe to get the momentum going more deliberately. Backhanded in deep by Prestamo from right in front of his bench at the Delaware blue line. Fresh legs on for Syracuse, and a stretch pass from DeFerres hits Cam Pierkowski back the other direction. Pierkowski working the puck in a little bit closer now. Swatted by Docking into a completely empty slot. And back come the Orange the other way. 5.5 minutes have gone by. Actually, 5.5 minutes have gone by. Our clock's going to need to catch up. Here on Delaware Hockey Night, it's 1-0 in favor of the Delaware Blue Hens. During the stoppages to come, we'll let the clock work its way to being reset. Meanwhile, Ponticello, behind his own cage, plays the puck up the near side. DeFerres couldn't keep it going. Trying to jam one in from the goal line extended right side was Colin Morrow, but Ponticello stacked the pads to ensure the last word. Hulser, the other direction in a 2-on-2. Shot from mid-slot, 30 feet out. Was stick checked up in the air. Rebound controlled by Hulser. Fired back in from center point by Jack Zimmer, but into a sea of navy blue and orange sweaters, and play migrates to the neutral zone where DeFerres corrals a loose puck, turns over the center logo, and launches one into the netting behind the Syracuse goal. With 13:22 to go, the clock you see in the lower right-hand corner of your monitor will roll for a little bit while we get synchronized here at Fred Rust Arena, but we can assure you it's a 1-0 game, advantage Delaware.
Syracuse doesn't look like a 1-5 or 1-16,
they really
do they?
don't.
No, they're really. But having said that, Delaware's making them look like a 6-1 team. By just bad hockey IQ, the bad choices, carrying the puck when they shouldn't, missing the passes or miss stick handling, not playing the body when they should. Just basic stuff.
Well, it's worth noting too, Bob, that 2 of Syracuse's last 3 losses came to Liberty, and the third was here last night, the 4-2 victory that put Delaware up to a 7-6 record on the season. Delayed penalty coming up, and it is on the Syracuse Orange. A roughing minor assessed Peter Owen Hayward at 7:06 in the second period. So the face-off will take place to the left of Parker. Felice is waved out. He's on with Emmerich, Niski, Zimmer, and DeFerres. And how about that? That stoppage perfectly timed. Got us synchronized in terms of the clock on site here at Fred Rust Arena and the clock in the lower right-hand corner of your Delaware Hockey Night TV monitor. 12:39 to go, 14 seconds gone from this Delaware power play, and a shot from high ends up into the netting behind Syracuse netminder Eric Parker. Hens with another attacking zone face-off. Here's Bill. So Peter Owen Hayward off for roughing as confirmed by Bill. Felice to DeFerres. At the right half wall, back into Felice behind the cage. Emmerich brings it the other direction, back up the right side. He's kept wide by Matt Jacobs, and Jacobs takes the puck away. Nearly an odd man rush the other direction. Jacobs still generates a one-on-one. Trailing him, Colin Morrow offered support. Puck poke checked out of his reach, but Morrow gets it back. Zone is cleared. Kai Miller, retreating to his own blue line, rifles the puck deep in Delaware territory. Half the Peter Owen Hayward penalty has expired. 8 minutes have gone by here in the second period, and Delaware is trying to pad a 1-0 lead now with 49 seconds left on this power play. Niski carried the puck right out of the zone at the left point. Bob Thomas, you just looked at me and cringed when that happened. 2-on-1 the other way. Centering pass from Gordon was fanned on by Prestamo in the low slot. So another lucky break for Delaware, whose Harrison Chuma gains them the Syracuse blue line once again. Niski below the net, centering pass from backdoor. Colin Emmerich from point-blank range. Couldn't get a quality wrist shot off. He was marked right on the doorstep by Ryan Dowd. Puck rolls along the cap rail on the far corner, played on by Dowd behind the cage, corralled by Skip Redgate. Flip back to Chuma, center point. To Redgate, top of the left circle. Cross slot pass intended for Jenny was intercepted by Mackenzie Murphy. Lofted up into the air, into the Delaware zone, and the penalty to Peter Owen Hayward has expired, and play has stopped with 10:43 to go here in period number 2.
James, when,
Bad power play.
Yeah, and Mr. Niski is such a great player, his speed, but those long, I call it public skating circles. When you take yourself and circle around the zone, what you're doing is taking your 4 teammates out of it because they don't know where to go.
Yeah.
It's really tough to read. Like I was telling you in between periods, it's like a quarterback scrambling and the offensive linemen have no idea where he's going to go. Well, when you make that big circle, most of the time, if you look at the other 4 guys, they're not really moving their feet much because they don't know where to go. There's no,
they can't anticipate your motion. They can't figure out where they need to be to offer puck support or to get open.
Yeah, it makes it easy because now all they got to do is put one guy to play him out.
So now you're turning a 5-on-5 into a 1-on-5, and here's Skip Redgate in a 1-on-1. But just as soon as he gained the Syracuse blue line, the puck was poke checked away from him, and the Hens are offside with 10:25 to go.
I think they're going to get.
Ostrander's offer a cross-check. So the Hens are going to the PK for the first time tonight.
I think I jinxed him, James, because he's been playing a tremendous game. Although that was, I think that's kind of to me it's kind of a makeup call, but it's hard to see from up here if the stick got extended or not. I thought it was actually a pretty good play.
And how about that to start the penalty kill? Delaware's Ethan Docking clears the puck right off the face-off dot. Jacobs, Hatchett, Hayward, Major, and Gordon are the 5 on this power play, and the first 20 seconds of it have been spent entirely in the Syracuse zone. Now Matt Jacobs is able to carry the puck on outside the right dots into the Delaware end. He's angled wide by DeFerris. Now DeFerris lowers a hip, plays the body on Jacobs. Puck worked up to the near half wall, reaching for it. Peter Owen Hayward throws it across ice, off the boards in front of the Syracuse bench. Docking lays a hip check on Jacobs at the point. Orange able to progress. Puck thrown in by Hatchett from the top of the left circle. It skitters to the near corner, corralled by Good behind the Delaware net. It's tied up there. Owen Doan shouts, move the puck. Now the battle breaks free. Zach Gordon works it to the far corner. Good traps it again. Hayward pitchforks away, extracts it. It's taken on from him by Docking for Delaware, and he clears with 43 seconds to go in the Ostrander penalty. 9 minutes and change to go in the second period, and the Hens unable to build on a 1-0 lead. Back into the Delaware end come the Orange, still with the man up. Connor Preston leading the second wave. Was pressed back nearly out of the zone, backhands the puck to Brunner Grande. Centering pass, nobody home. Failed clearing attempt, zone protected at the left point by Hatchett. And now we've got a puck in the netting as it was contested round about the right dot. the question here, what side stick was that puck off? It's ruled off a Syracuse stick by linesman Brent Kendall, and as such, the face-off will come back into neutral ice with 8:41 to go in the second period.
Other than that shot, Delaware's had a really good kill.
They have.
You know, they've kept them outside. They've worked the battle of the boards and really gave it a lot of, net front support.
Good, despite being trapped behind his own goal line for so long. Really, I thought, contributed well to the penalty kill, keeping the puck pinned in and just letting time burn off the clock.
James, like you said, on the initial face-off and that power or that penalty kill, it's so important to win those draws, whether you're on the power play or the penalty kill or anywhere really, but especially these, for Delaware to win in their zone when they're shorthanded, it's major.
False start on the face-off with 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. The second go-around falls the way of Syracuse, but Hayward's shot from the high slot was blocked as soon as he got rid of it. He gets his own rebound, works it onto Jacobs behind the cage. He's hassled by Zimmer and Schuma. Another puck stick-checked up into the netting. Over the far corner of the Delaware zone. Penalties expired, so the Hens are back to full strength.
Well, that's always a good sign, James, when you see the puck going up into the netting, going to penalty kill or anywhere else, or other time when you're in defensive zone. That means guys are getting to the puck. They're getting their sticks in the lanes. And that's what happened 2 or 3 times on that penalty kill.
Guys are working hard.
It was a great kill.
Bad power play followed up by a really good penalty kill. Peter Owen Hayward takes the face-off for Syracuse, but Delaware presses on through neutral ice. They nearly set up a 2-on-1. Nima chases down the puck, lost his footing in the near corner. There to support was Wagner. Up to DeFerris, holding down the blue line, but he gives it away to Jacobs. Jacobs in an attempt to connect with Hatchett through neutral ice up the near wall. Saw that outlet pass broken up by DeFerris. Battle develops at center. Niski brings it back in up the left side. Centering pass, and Delaware makes it 2-0. Was it Wagner again?
It was hard to see, James, thanks to this little obstructed view.
Thanks to the duct work right next to you.
But one thing I did notice was Hatchett, like I was telling you, he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's got a little bit of lumbering, and he tried to get out on the breakout as a defenseman, and what that essentially did was he couldn't get back, so it forced a forward to have to play defense, and Delaware definitely took advantage of that.
And what we had there, a fast break back into the zone. Beautiful centering pass from Niski, who offered puck support to the fallen Nima. It was Wagner.
Good eye, James.
We'll stay with Bill. So Nima with the fast break in. Fell in the left corner. Niski offered puck support. Centering pass then to Wagner, who was on the doorstep for the redirect. And just like that, it's a 2-0 game, advantage Delaware, with 7 minutes and change to go in this second period. Here come the Orange, back the other direction. Zach Gordon up the middle. Lazy shot from 45 feet away. Easy stick save by Ponticello. Jay Luce had the chase down the puck before any rebound opportunities were pounced on by the Orange. Tommy Cascone behind his own goal. Saucers the puck up the middle. It was touched by Mackenzie Murphy. Or was it?
I thought it was too, James.
You know what I think it was? An offside pass is what Brett Kendall's saying.
Yeah.
Because it was touched after center.
Yep.
And the Delaware player was offside from there. So it certainly was not an icing.
No.
Bob Payne and Brent Kendall trying to figure out, okay, where to spot this face-off because of really an uncommon offside situation.
Yeah, it kind of fooled, I think, everybody, even the refs.
And even the one in the press box, too.
Exactly.
But the thing is, these guys know the book inside and out, and they're going to get it right, and by George, they did. Hayward into a 1-on-4. Blue Hens swarming around him as he carries the puck in to the Delaware zone. Now thrown into Prestamo. Centering pass intended for Wheeler, cutting through. Broken up by Colin Emmerich. 2-on-2 the other way. Emmerich up the middle. Threw the puck in from over the Delaware Blue Hens logo. And Eric Parker covers up the puck as the pressure comes in from the boys in white and blue with 5:57 to go in the second period. And the Hens back in the attacking zone to try to build on this 2-0 lead. Ryan Wagner with both Delaware goals so far. Ride of the Valkyries would be appropriate tonight, Bob.
He's making a good play for player of the game, that's for sure.
No question. Ponticello's holding up his end of the bargain, too.
Yes, very much so. Because Delaware's had some breakdowns in front of the net, and I don't mean little breakdowns, but uh-ohs.
Jake DeFerris up the left side. Works the puck ahead to Felice, out into neutral territory, on ahead to Skip Redgate. Flip back to Felice, shot from the top of the right circle. Clears the crossbar, looked like Parker. Got it with the tip of his glove. And that puck bounced off the glass and back out into the Syracuse zone. Now it's controlled in the far corner by Mackenzie Murphy. Redgate puts forechecking pressure on him. Zone cleared. Cross ice pass to Preston. Headman up the right, dots to Jacobs. Chipped in close to Brunner Grande. Thrown toward the net, but he missed. Puck caroms to the far side, cleared out by Docking. Advanced up the far boards to Burns. Chipped away from his reach. Cleared out by Syracuse's Colin Morrow. He is guilty of an icing. With 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second period. And the Hens, with a little bit more breathing room, dare we say that.
Thanks to Mr. Wagner, but actually a whole team effort. But Delaware is really a very good team when they're moving their feet and passing, because they do have a lot of speed.
They just need to be careful to keep the puck moving, make the clean passes, and avoid the defensive breakdowns from not keeping the foot on the gas the other way.
Well, you know, Coach Mittelmeyer said it earlier in the year to me that he was really happy because he felt that this team had enough speed to play on the big ice.
They've certainly shown it because, let's face it, Bob, all 7 of their wins this year have been at home. And they have not lost at home.
That's an interesting stat, you know, it really is. It's like one of those things where this big, you know, the larger surface plays to their advantage, for sure.
With a team this fast and able to use the space to their advantage, they've proven it, but they haven't been able to adjust their game to the smaller ice just yet. Maybe take the Christmas recess and barnstorm through Europe.
That would be great.
That'd be fun.
Can we go?
That's where sponsors come in, Bob. Sponsorship opportunities are available for Delaware Hockey Night TV and DHN Radio. Drop us a note at dehockeynight@gmail.com to learn more.
Send us to Europe. Send us to Europe fund.
Segue. 4 minutes to go in the second period. Delaware 2, Syracuse 0. This an icing against the Orange with 3:48 remaining in the second period. Ivan Sidoriak helping us out in the press box tonight. He's out of the lineup with an upper body injury. And he helped us out a little bit at the Patriot Ice Center earlier this year, helping out with officiating the summer in-house program, helping kids learn the great game of hockey. And just an all-around good guy. So thanks to Ivan for giving us a hand here this evening in the press box and helping bring this game into your homes. Dylan Wheeler up the right wing boards. Barely onside was Prestamo up the middle. Cross ice pass. Hayward shot from the left dot. Rings hard off the glass. Bounces back as far as the Syracuse blue line. Played on by Ricker. Volleyed back the other direction by Cascone. Hulser chips it in to the Syracuse end. Wheeler, 10 feet inside his blue line, turns the momentum the other direction. And now Gavin Hulser will carry the puck back in for the Delaware Blue Hens. Centering pass, net front opportunity was broken up by Parker Ostrander. Very slow to get up after crashing the net. The other direction, it's Lucas Prestamo. Kept wide of the left dots, and Jay Luce plays the body on him behind the cage with 2:55 to go here in the second frame. And there's the first Syracuse goal of the evening. A laser from the top of the left circle, rings off the right post and in past Ponticello, and it's 2-1.
James, I didn't get a real good look at the forwards, but I'm pretty sure that all 5 of the Delaware players were facing the puck. He just snuck in from the left side, and really good shot. It really was, as you heard it ding off the post and in. But
I was screened on the number of the player.
That's one of those ones where you got to put your head on a swivel. All 5 guys, they all locked in on the puck.
As refs, they teach us. Play, not the puck. Follow the play. The puck is last in our list of what we're looking at. Yeah, it's important, but you've got to see how the play is developing.
Right, and the same for players. Follow that sneaky guy coming in off the point.
And that's what happened there. It was Colin Morrow's first of the season from Chris Brunner Grande. And Syracuse is offside with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in period number 2.
Let's see how Delaware responds to that, James, because if not, we're back the same where we started at the end of the period, the first one. Let's see what they can do with the last 2 minutes of play here.
Nima does win the face-off just above his own blue line to get things going, but Zimmer is going to be guilty of an icing.
That one was close, James, wasn't it?
Really was. It was a photo finish down to the goal line.
I really thought the Delaware player had that one, actually. I don't know.
Nima's pretty quick, but Kai Miller stayed right with him, and I think probably got it, maybe a neck.
It was maybe the very tip of the skate blade.
It wasn't by much. 1:55 to go here in the second period. Mike Niski, with that great speed of his, carries the puck back into the Syracuse end, so negating the ill effects of the icing. Puck chipped up in the atmosphere behind the Syracuse goal. It comes back down. Nima lost his footing, and away with the puck comes Hayward. Kept in by Niski, crossing over to the left point in front of Good. He rifles the puck in behind the goal, and it's brought back out by Ford Hatchett of Syracuse. They enter a 4-on-3. Hatchett's shot from mid-slot was stick-checked up into the netting by Niski with 1:24 to go here in the second period. And the Hens lead cut in half by Colin Morrow's laser from the top of the left circle at the 17:10 mark of the frame. Felice on for the ensuing draw, across from Jacobs. It's won by Jacobs for Syracuse, kept in by Miller up high. His shot from center point was blocked, got his own rebound, nearly got the puck back from Jacobs, but it was taken away by Emmerich. Here's a 2-on-1 for Delaware. Cross ice pass to Redgate, centered up high to Felice. He lost his footing trying to let one go from 40 feet. That shot never materialized. We're down to the last minute of play in the second period. Hens back in attacking position. To Ferris, across the blue line to Good. Thrown into a congested slot. That puck blocked down by Colin Morrow. Here's a 1-on-2 the other direction, headed up by Matt Jacobs. Now the reinforcements are in. Centering pass high to Morrow, looking for his second of the night. His shot from 40 feet away was wide. Rebound contested in the far corner. Nima reaches for it. It's kept in the control of Matt Jacobs for the Orange. Back to the left point, and hatchet it goes to Jacobs. Worked below the cage nearly. Now Jacobs is knocked off his feet by Felice. Delayed penalty will go against Delaware. 18 seconds left in the period. And as Good touches up the puck, we have a break in the action, and the Blue Hens, with 17 seconds to go in the period, will be down a man. As Felice comes off for, I'd imagine, a cross check.
Either that or a hook, James.
Some stick foul, that we know.
Exactly.
So the last 17 seconds of the second period, we'll see Delaware is shorthanded, and Syracuse is off to a much feistier start on this power play. Down to the last 2 seconds, last shot from the right point, and Jacobs goes wide as the period comes to its conclusion. 40 minutes in the books. It is Delaware 2, Syracuse 1. We'll take a timeout here on Delaware Hockey Night. We're in for a treat when the third period rolls around. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Welcome back to Delaware Hockey Night. We are live from the Fred Rust Arena, where through 2 periods of action, the Delaware Blue Hens have amassed a 2-1 lead over the Syracuse Orange. James Witherite and Bob Thomas joining you from Fred Rust Arena. When we get back to the action, Delaware will have 1 minute and 44 seconds of a penalty kill still in front of them after the hooking minor, which was assessed to Kevin Felice at the 1944 mark of the second period. Before we get too deep in the action and the analysis, the next Blue Hens game is Friday, November 8th versus Navy. In support of our good friends at the Open Net Foundation, full schedules available at udelhockey.com. On a normal basis, tickets are just $6 available at the door. And for value for money, Bob, it really doesn't get a whole lot better in terms of high-level hockey in this area.
And you have 4 teams to choose from. You have the 1, 2, 3, and the women's team. So you have no reason not to come down as far as availability. There's like a game every weekend going on down here.
If you want to see good hockey and you're in the state of Delaware, this is where you come.
Sure. You know, people think, oh, you got to go up to Massachusetts or Minnesota. Heck no. You're seeing some great hockey right here in the state of Delaware, like you said, James.
Absolutely. And for $6, you can bring the whole family and not break the bank. And it's a fun, family-friendly environment. Really just a vibrant place to be. Fred Rust Arena is gorgeous. And this Blue Hens team, they put on a good show.
It's a great rink. I wish we skated here because of it's a beautiful rink. Always clean, and you know, for like you said, for that price, James, you can even afford a few hot dogs and some pretzels to go with it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
So off we go here in the third period. 104 seconds of a power play for the Syracuse University Orange to start this third period. And they come crashing in right from the get-go. Matt Jacobs working the left point. Docking steps up to challenge him. He flips the puck to Hatchett. Coming up to the top of the left circle, worked in down low. Back it comes to Hatchett. Back to him from Gordon. He tried to feed the puck to Matt Jacobs, center point. Docking broke up that pass. Brings it back in the other direction. Let a backhander go from the outside wall. But it was turned aside by Eric Parker, who stopped 19 of 21 shots through the first 2 periods for the Syracuse Orange, and we're 42 seconds into this third period. Orange back in the attacking zone now for the second wave of their power play. Hayward looked slapper at the top of the right circle. Now he gets the puck back from Jacobs. Back it comes to Hatchett. Shot from the left point. Chipped up in the air in a congested slot. Looked like Harrison Good got a piece of it. He's holding down the back end of this penalty kill along with Jakey DeFerris. Cam Pierkowski and Ethan Docking are the 2 up front. Hayward, right corner. Back to Jacobs at the far point. Across the blue line to Hatchett. Lofted in about belt high to Gordon at the near corner. Puck is loose. Corralled by Hayward. He sets up Jacobs again up high. Back to Hayward. Fanned on at the top of the left circle. Reaching in for the puck was Docking. Couldn't take it away before Hatchett got to it. He quickly fired a shot in from 25 feet away, but it was batted down, but kept in by Syracuse's blue line core. Jacobs at the left point again as the Felice penalty comes to its conclusion. He heads straight to the bench. Looked like Ryan Wagner got a little bit of a head start getting on the ice, maybe by a second and a half, but that one is going to be let go by the linesman.
Another great kill, James. Really was. They didn't really get much going. And
it was a tougher kill, but it was a good kill just the same.
They took a lot. They kept their sticks in the lane, and you could see, passes and shots coming off their sticks. It's what you want killers to do.
DeFerris is just now getting off the ice. He was on for the first 2 minutes and 12 seconds of the period. 3-on-2 for Syracuse. Up the middle came Chris Brunner Grande. Puck was poke-checked away from him, kept in by Gordon at the far corner. Or rather, that was Hatchett. He's everywhere, Ford Hatchett is. Hard shot from Niski from the left dot. Blocked down by Parker. Nima absorbs a shoulder check at the near half wall from Preston. Puck ends up across ice, thrown in by Luce. Taking a body check from Prestamo. And behind the cage it goes, brought back out now to Niski at the left point. He stick handles across the top of the circles, flips it back to Cascone at the near point. Cannon in from there. Nima was checked off his feet by Hatchett, holding close to home. He's the mirror image of Chuma in so many ways, Ford Hatchett is.
Well, he couldn't get off the ice fast enough, James. He was not even moving his feet there, and the only thing he could do to the Delaware player, I think was it Nima?
I think it was Nima. Just camp out close to home and throw the body around.
He just raked him down. It's an old trick, you get in behind him and either kick the foot out a little bit and drag him down, or get your stick into the back of his pants and pull down. And I don't know which one he did, but he took him down, and it could have, in today's game, that definitely could have been called. Because in the old days, that was
commonplace.
That was normal stuff. But in today's game, he had position on him, but he was dead. And I'd like to see what he does in the rest of this third period, because Delaware can take advantage of that.
I'll tell you what, though, Bob, he was out for I think the first 3 minutes and change of the period, and he still gave 100% effort all the way to the end.
Yeah, he had nothing left in the tank. Yeah, I watched him
but he's still figuring out ways to be effective.
Well, he's very big.
Centering pass, Redgate. Redirect was off its line, and Syracuse is able to clear. There's no icing here. It was touched on the way through by a Delaware player, and Jay Luce had to hustle back deep in his own zone to beat Vinny Barone for the puck. Here's Luce again, behind the cage. He plays the carom shot to the far side, rolling puck in the path of Emmerich. Stepping up to challenge him. You guessed it, Ford Hatchett. He wasn't off for very long, and here he comes right back.
Let's see what his feet look like now, James. Broke that play up.
Felice just got robbed by a Hatchet at the left off, but Redgate offered support, kept the puck in Delaware control. Flip back to Felice, centering pass to Emmerich, doesn't get to him. Dylan Wheeler intercepts it for the Syracuse Orange, but Felice protects the left point and forces the Orange back behind their own goal here at the 4.5-minute mark of this third period, and the Delaware Blue Hens up 2-1. Over the Syracuse Orange. Battle for the puck at the Delaware blue line at the near wall. Poked away by Ostrander. Behind the Syracuse goal, Austin Ricker recovers. He's stonewalled at his own blue line by Devin Jenny. Drop pass, can't get to Hulser coming into the mid-slot. It was broken up by that Syracuse defensive core. Hulser does chase down the puck, but he lost the shot opportunity altogether. Hulser to the left point, and Chuma thrown into the slot. Hulser, wrister, kick save and a beauty by Parker. Got his own rebound, threw it right through the slot, off the far boards, and back it bounces into the Delaware end. We're just past 5 minutes into the third period of a 2-1 game. Advantage, a tenuous one for the Delaware Blue Hens.
James, it was Hatchett that broke up that 2-on-1, but he was trying to get off the ice to get a change because he was spent.
He was gassed.
And the Delaware stole the puck, broke it back in, and almost beat it for the 2-on-1, but he broke it up nice. But I watched him, I'll tell you.
He's everywhere.
But if you know what, James, if I'm a Delaware forward, I'm dumping into his corner every time we come down if we're going to dump at all, because you want to, it's third period, you got a chance of wearing him out and taking advantage of that.
Gordon couldn't split the wickets, and neither could Preston on the follow-up opportunity. A gorgeous glove save from Ponticello keeps this a 2-1 game with 14:11 to go here in the third period.
He's been very solid tonight.
And the Hens will have to stay in their zone for the ensuing face-off. We'll get the clipboard out of your view.
And look who's back out on defense for Syracuse.
Ford Hatchett. And he slams the puck in from the left point after Jacobs won the face-off at the near dot. Here's Jacobs again, circling behind the cage, out to the right dot. Backhander from 25 feet away. Caught and held on to by Ponticello for another break in the action. 5 minutes and 49 seconds. No. 11 seconds came off the clock in that exchange. And our clock didn't run. That happens sometimes. We're 6 minutes in exactly here in the third period of this ACHA Men's Division I game. Delaware with a 2-1 lead over Syracuse. This game airing on Delaware Hockey Night, brought to you by the DHN Media Group. Solutions for small businesses, including writing, editing, copy editing, social media consultation, web design, graphic design, multimedia production, and so much more. Visit dhnmediagroup.com to learn more about what they can do to bolster your brand, and be sure to follow them on Facebook and Twitter as well at DHN Media Group. While we're on the subject of social media, give us a follow at Delaware Hockey Night, DE Hockey Night, at both Facebook and Twitter, and of course the good old-fashioned World Wide Web, news and notes at DEHockeyNight.com for all things hockey here in the First State. Jake Nema circles behind the net. Back to Good, center point. Scrum in front of the net. Luppy can't jam it past. Puck is covered up by Eric Parker just in the nick of time. With 12 minutes and 53 seconds to go in regulation. And the Hens, not for lack of effort, cannot pad a 2-1 lead. Cascone from the near point off the draw, missed the cage. The other direction comes Peter Owen Hayward. Shot from 40 feet, stick checked away. Niski picks up a loose puck, walks it in. Hardwister from 20 feet out is caught and held on to by Eric Parker. A break in the action with 12:35 left. The chances keep coming, but they're not quality chances,
they ever,
Bob.
James? But you can. It's almost like you can sense Delaware starting to take this game over a bit with their speed. They're getting. You watch Syracuse; they're having to drop almost all 5 guys back in tight to the net just to keep up. And Delaware's getting more of the odd man rushes.
But the execution still needs to be just a little bit better.
A little bit. Here you go. Oh.
Niski to Luppy through the slot, reaching. He couldn't get stick on puck. He was angled wide anyway. Niski again with it in the far corner. Now he settles down, works it back to Luce at the left point. Back to Niski, muscling for position at the half wall. Centering pass broken up by Wheeler. Advanced now up the left wing boards by Mackenzie Murphy. Shot from the top of the left circle. Off the paddle of Ponticello to the near corner of the Delaware end. Battle migrates behind the Blue Hens cage. Niski was able to take the puck away. He bounces it off the stick of Murphy, and it trails back behind the Syracuse goal. We're past the 8-minute mark here in the third period of a 2-1 game, advantage Delaware. But the Orange are back on the offensive, or are they? Connor Preston was able to deflect the puck into the Delaware end, but it was brought the other direction by Chuma, contested by Redgate. And Preston over the center logo, steamrolling in. Connor Preston lost his shot lane after traversing the slot. Felice gains the puck from him, leaves it back to Jack Zimmer. Played past Skip Redgate up the near wall. Felice is able to chase it down in the near corner, but he's held in by the body of Pat Major. Scrum for the puck continues. Now it migrates up the near boards. Austin Ricker finds a gear, carries the puck as far as center red, absorbs a hit from Chuma. No icing. Brent Kendall says the puck was tipped on its way from the Delaware blue line to the far corner of the Syracuse end. Coming up on halfway, puck is trapped at the kick plate in the far corner of the Syracuse zone. Colin Emmerich looking for a lane, hauled down by Pat Major. So too was Felice, and the puck was stripped from him by Ford Hatchett. How about that?
There you go.
And he's going to take it coast to coast, or tried to. Shot from 40 feet out after he gained up the middle, turned aside by the stick of Chris Ponticello. Felice controls the rebound. It was played to him up the right wing boards by Redgate. He gets to center, floats the puck in deep from there, and that gives Delaware a chance for a line change with 10 minutes and 6 seconds to go, and the clock will stop from there as Ponticello makes yet another save.
Delaware definitely recognizes that Syracuse is dropping all 5 guys down now, James, because they're starting to pinch the points in a little bit. But the points are wide open. They are definitely open. It's just a matter of getting the puck out to them or catching them when they break towards the net.
Well, that's when you got to get guys like DeFerris and Chuma to thread the needle.
Here's another odd man.
2-on-1 for Delaware. Ostrander net front. He shoots and scores! Gorgeous centering pass to Brian Ostrander, and he puts a net front backhand past Eric Parker to make it 3-1 Delaware.
You could feel it coming, James. Syracuse keeps dropping guys back, but this time they got caught up ice. Great 2-on-1. Ostrander made no doubt about that shot. But you can feel Delaware taking it in. They don't need to change nothing. They just got to keep doing exactly what they've been doing.
A net front backhander from Ostrander. His 4th of the season. He had one last night. I believe it was the empty netter which sealed the deal for Delaware. So Ostrander with his 2nd goal of the weekend, his 4th of the year, making it 3-1, advantage Blue Hens. Good tries to build on it from the right point, but his shot in was blocked and taken on by Peter Owen Hayward. Hayward with space up the middle, tries to go coast to coast, long range shot, swatted away by the stick of Ponticello, and Hulser muscles back the other direction, gets past the blue line of Syracuse before coming off for a change. 9:10 to go here in the 3rd period. Delaware 3-1. Bill Williams will cut in with the assists on the Ostrander goal as soon as he's ready, probably at the next stoppage. Wagner looking for the hat trick, gets past center red, flips the puck in behind the Syracuse goal, chased down by Pierkowski. Let's go to Bill right now.
The assist number 26, Brian Ostrander, and 23, Kevin Jenny. Time to goal, 10 minutes, 6 seconds. 37 on the goal, 26 and 23 assists at 10-6.
So it's officially going to Hulser. But I think we're giving that one to Ostrander up here.
I thought it was, James.
I thought it was too. We'll go back to the tape.
Pretty
if
clear.
We need to.
I thought it was pretty clear.
In any case, we'll get you the whole story on DEHockeyNight.com later tonight or tomorrow morning. In addition to Delaware Blue Hens broadcasts, streaming video and audio, we do offer news and notes of all things hockey in Delaware. 8 minutes to go here in regulation. The important number anyway, Delaware 3, Syracuse 1. Long-range volley from both sides. Niski pinned deep in his zone. Now Hatchet eases up on the forecheck. And Niski tried to skate his way through traffic. Major got a piece of the puck. Schuma was able to trail that speedy forward and keep the puck in Delaware control. But Ryan Luppy ends up chipping the puck into the Syracuse bench with 7:34 remaining. And the result of the stoppage in play, a neutral ice face-off. It'll take place over the center logo. The product of Allentown, Pennsylvania, and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, Jake Nema chases forward off the draw, which he lost ultimately. And another stoppage in the action comes with 7:24 to go after a brief attack from the Syracuse Orange, enough for them to at least gain attacking position. And now Nema swats the puck into the far corner of his own zone, where Jack Zimmer is able to play the carom shot out of harm's way. Hatchet recovers in his end, works the puck up the middle to Major through neutral ice. He angles outside the right dots to gain the Delaware zone. Major in close, was right on the welcome mat, threw the puck through the top of the crease. Niski brings it back the other way. Head man to Nema, swatted out of his reach by Parker to the far corner inside the last 7 minutes of regulation. Here on Delaware Hockey Night Saturday edition. Good with a cannon from the right point, right into the glove of Eric Parker. And he snags that one like a line drive to the shortstop. And that gives us a break in the action with 6:49 to go.
Sure did, James. If I could take a second to say a special hi to my sister in North Jersey. No matter what the adversity is, she battles tougher than any hockey player that I've ever played with or coached. Even if she's a diehard Devils fan, I still love her.
And much love to my sister as well, who is out in Los Angeles this weekend, assisting with the coverage of the Breeders' Cup.
Wow.
On NBC.
And you got stuck with my horse face.
Here's Emmerich in up the left side. Centering pass. Nobody home as Colin Morrow wrists the puck out of his own, but he's guilty of an icing. With 6:22 to go in regulation. Prayers with your sister in Jersey as she battles on, and we can say that the whole hockey community is behind you, and especially this guy to my left, Bob Thomas. he is as good as gold, and he's behind you every step of the way, too.
Eileen could play on any line on any team I've ever coached.
Syracuse on the attack. Mackenzie Murphy dumps the puck in from over center. It ends up in the near corner, held in by Jacobs. Recovered by Redgate for Delaware. Here's a 2-on-1 rush. If only Felice gets moving a little faster. Centering pass from the top of the left circle. Sails past Felice to the near boards. Good steps up to the right point to protect. In close to Emmerich. Swatted away from him. Corralled by Felice. He gives it away to Morrow. Shoveled back by Emmerich from in neutral ice. In behind the Syracuse goal, we've got 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in regulation. And the Orange are able to gain the Delaware end. Trying to get a shot off. Lucas Prestamo was stick checked from 40 feet away. Chance came from the right half wall on the stick of Ryan Dowd, but that too was turned aside. Here's Prestamo up the middle. At the left dots, he enters the Delaware zone. Cascone challenged him and put enough pressure on him to force an errant shot to the far corner. It's a 3-on-2 battle for the puck, extracted by Prestamo, looking for space to get around Hulser, but having a hard time doing so. Instead, plays the puck to Brunner Grande, below the cage near side. It's jammed in close. Ponicello covers up, and we've got a pause in the action with 4:50 to go here in regulation, and the Delaware Blue Hens clinging steadfastly to that 3-1 lead.
Delaware's now gone to really quick, hard shifts, 30 to 45 seconds, a 1-2-2 forecheck, and other than that little opportunity there, they've pretty much been holding Syracuse at bay and getting pretty good chances themselves down in Syracuse's end.
And Syracuse winning the attacking zone face-off. It was Pat Major who did so, but Preston's shot from center point was blocked away. With it again, Major in the far corner. Zimmer backhands it out of his reach, and Pierkowski up further ahead. Plays it deep into Syracuse territory. 4.5 minutes to go in regulation. Muscling through the neutral zone. Zach Gordon, works it into the Delaware blue line. Got pickpocketed by Docking, who plays it across his own blue line to Pierkowski. Swatted in from just over the point. Burns chases it down, but the puck is recovered by Syracuse's Connor Preston. He'll carry it up the left wing boards. He gets past center, chips it off the glass into the near corner. It rolls behind the Delaware goal. So no icing after Preston was able to carry the puck on past center. And Owen Doan's got his arm up. We're going to go a man down or two here with 3:56 to go. And it looked like Connor Preston did something he shouldn't have.
That's one that, you're down 3-1, your coaches go nuts because that's an offensive zone penalty, James. A rough, I believe. That's just not a smart penalty with 4 minutes left to go and you're down by 2.
Offensive zone penalties are never good.
Ouch, you're exactly right. They're usually brutal and uncalled for because they can, there's no need. Catch the guy or play him up clean. But then, like in this situation, Syracuse had some offensive,
They were getting their momentum going together again.
They were getting the momentum going, and this just sucks it right out of them. And Delaware
and now they're
bears
down
it
a
here.
guy, and they're back in their defensive zone. Let's go to Bill. And here's a 3-on-2 for Syracuse, but it was broken up by Niski nearly. And here we go. A net front scrum after Ponicello makes the save. He got poked into the goal by a Syracuse forechecker. And the Hens quickly rushing to the aid of their netminder say, we're not having any of this, boys. Linesman Bob Payne and Brent Kendall intervene. And Owen Doan has signaled a slash. Who's going to get the gate for Syracuse on this?
The same name we've been calling all night for Syracuse, Hatchett.
Fort Hatchett clearly objecting to the ruling. But I mean, after the whistle, that's just That's a ridiculously stupid penalty to take.
Yeah.
Apologies to Ford. Wonderful, wonderful guy, but that's a penalty that you've got to keep your temper in check.
Yeah, I mean, that's a double killer now. That's 2 offensive penalties in the,
And it was after the whistle.
Yep. That's just, it's not smart hockey. I thought he was going to take somebody from Delaware because by the time I looked that way, it was pretty much a scrum.
It was pretty much a scrum at that point. I thought it was going to be a guy each side, quite frankly.
This game has got it heated in the last couple minutes, and it originally thought it was Chuma and Gordon kind of going at it.
So the Hens with a 5-on-3. Niski net front. Back to the Ferris right dot on to Zimmer. Worked in close. Emmerich failed on the tic-tac-toe. He gets checked off his feet net front. Puck ends up in the near corner. Niski back to the Ferris. Niski steps up to the bottom of the right circle. DeFerris up high. Cross ice past Jack Zimmer. Backhands it in close. Niski's got space, and he shoots and scores. How's that for puck movement through the slot, through the zone? That's how you capitalize on a 5-on-3. It's 4-1
James,
Delaware.
I'll tell you, that was tic-tac-toe. That is beautiful. And on YouTube, they're going to look at that one a few times because that was a great. I mean, Niski finished it off, but that was 5 guys just moving the puck.
That was a gorgeous power play goal.
I loved what the Ferris did on that play just 10, 15 seconds earlier. He pinched down just enough to keep that puck in, took it off the defender from Syracuse, and kept that whole series alive by doing that. If he doesn't hustle down there that hard, that's cleared out, and it's still 3-1.
Instead, it's 4-1. Ponticello covers up the puck again. Let's get the assist from Bill. The assists go to Felice and Emmerich on that goal, but you maybe want to give DeFerris and Zimmer assists too because it really was.
If they could give out more than 2, they should.
2 minutes, 51 seconds to go here in regulation. Delayed penalty coming up against Delaware. We'll hold the clock in the lower right-hand corner. We let it run errantly. And Syracuse's Peter Owen Hayward circles behind his own goal. Extra attackers on. Net is empty. Hard shot from the top of the right circle came. Off the stick of Prestamo. And we're going to go 4-on-4 for the next 56 seconds as Ostrander's ruled off for a hook.
James, it's kind of funny because after you get a couple calls like that, you got to be extra careful that you don't, make anything even close to what looks like a penalty because that's exactly what just happened right there. It was even like a delay before the arm came up. It was a little bit like the orange call, a penalty from the bench kind of thing, but not a big hit or anything, just enough to say, okay, there's one for you guys.
And Syracuse is going to take their timeout with 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go. They've got 56 seconds of 4-on-4, then they've got a back-end power play for 1 minute and 4 seconds. Connor Tracy's team is down by 3. What's he discussing right now?
Hold nothing back. Everybody's going to the net. What's it matter if you lose 5 or 6-1 or 4-3? It's you got to give it. Get the puck on net and crash is basically what probably they're going to do.
With the attacking zone face-off here coming up as a result of the Ostrander penalty, do you pull Parker?
That's a tough one, James. I mean, maybe when you go on the power play.
Is the risk-reward worth it to make it a 5-on-4 and then a 6-on-4?
Again, you lose 5-1 or 4-3. It's still an L in the book. Like I've always said, there's no such thing as a good loss. It's what you do after that loss that matters.
Right.
But in this case, you got to try. I mean, it looks like he's going to pull him, so he is going to pull it and make it a 5-on-4 power play. And it's not a bad. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad idea because he might be able to get one here and then get one at the end of the penalty kill in 56 seconds. And now you got a ball game for the last minute or so.
Got to give yourself the chance to stay in it, and that's exactly what Connor Tracy's going to do with Eric Parker coming off. So 2:20 to go here in regulation. The Syracuse net is empty. We are even strength. So Delaware can't ice.
Exactly, James.
And Jacobs maintains the left point. Gives the puck away to Chuma. Played off the far boards. On past Felice. Blown up at center by Peter Owen Hayward. And Matt Jacobs is able to recover behind his own empty net for Syracuse with 2 minutes to go in this 4-1 game. Forechecking pressure from Emmerich and Felice. Mackenzie Murphy works the puck ahead to Pat Major, back into the Delaware zone. He comes. We're down to the final 100 seconds of competition here this weekend at Fred Rust Arena. 4 seconds left on the Hatchet penalty. He opens the door, he steps on, and it's going to be 6-on-4 for the next minute. A minute and a half to go here in Delaware. Hard shot from Hatchet, center point. Skips wide to the left of the cage. It's set up back to Mackenzie Murphy, now to the right dot, and Matt Jacobs. Murphy off the near boards to Hatchet. Chasing him down is good at the near half wall. Recovered for Delaware by DeFerris. He can ice the puck now without any repercussions, but he can't. It's taken on by Mackenzie Murphy in neutral ice, brought back into the Delaware zone. To the last minute we go. Hatchet's wrist shot from the left point. He got terrible contact on the puck there. The puck just skittered forward maybe a couple feet, but it's kept in by the Orange. Down to the last 45 we go. Puck batted up into the air right in front of the Delaware net.
Hand pass, I believe, James.
Was it off a helmet or was it a hand pass?
I think it went off. Maybe
John Poling is pointing to the Syracuse zone. Puck was on the back of the net ultimately, but how did it get there is the question. The face-off is going to come outside the Delaware blue line.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it came off his stick or
41.3 seconds to go. Here in regulation, it's still an empty net to our right. 8 seconds left on the Ostrander penalty. Cross-ice pass, Hatchet. Net front, fanning on it was Prestamo. He had space to work with 2 at the left edge of the crease. He chases down his rebound. He's checked off the puck. Jacobs offers support, keeps it in Syracuse control. One-timer from Murphy. Missed wide of the left post by a couple feet. Battle for the puck off the rebound behind the Delaware net. 13 seconds to go. Hens back to full strength. A cannon came from Jacobs at the left dot, but Ponticello with a textbook save blocking down the angle. The final countdown will be 9.7 seconds with the stoppage caused by Chris Ponticello. And the Delaware Blue Hens will go up to 8-6-0 in a matter of moments after their sweep of Syracuse this weekend is complete. I'll say this, though, the Orange sure made Delaware work for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the Delaware Blue Hens complete the sweep over Syracuse with a 4-1 victory here on Saturday night at Fred Rust Arena. 2 goals from Ryan Wagner, 1 from Brian Ostrander, and the power play tally from Mike Niski sealed the deal with 3 minutes to go. Chris Ponticello with a great effort between the pipes again. He improves to 7-5-0 on the season. We'll do it again on Friday. The next Blue Hens game on November 8th as the Hens take on Navy. Full broadcast schedule available at dehockeynight.com. This has been Delaware Hockey Night, a copyrighted presentation by the DHN Media Group. We thank you for tuning in this evening. For Bob Thomas, this is James Witherite signing off. Thanks for your company over the last couple hours, and we'll certainly hope to see you again in the very near future. Good night from Newark.